Hey y'all, I'm Tim and welcome to the MrMaple Show. Today I'm standing at Buchholz Nursery with our manager Joel Johnson. Y'all, he's the one that manages the Buchholz farm, gets all these trees looking beautiful. He's one of the guys that just makes sure that everything's going right here at the farm with our team here. We've got an amazing team here at Buchholz Nursery in Gaston, Oregon, and we're so excited to be here. And today, Joel's gonna bring us his top 5 maples for fall color. Y'all get excited. We got some cool rare plants on this top 5. I'm super excited. Joel, how long have you been growing trees?
Well, ever since I guess had diapers on, more or less. I don't know. I've been in the industry over 20 years. So, you know, within the, about 20 to 25.
Joel is such an expert when it comes to maples. He's an expert whenever it comes to nurseries, and we couldn't be more thrilled to have him here at our Buchholz farm. So Joel, what do you like about maples and fall color?
Well, you know, number one on maples, I like maples with year-round interest. So leafing out, foliage, I like color, and it's got to maintain some level of interest for the whole year. So leaf, foliage, bark, fall color, it's gotta have some sort of interest. And if it doesn't, I lose interest real quick.
So I saw your list, I had a sneak peek at it. What do you want to start out with for your best fall color maples?
Well, number one, I like Bloody Talon. You know, it is one of the slowest growing maples. When it first leaves out, it's kind of a lime green. The foliage is super cool because it curls backward and it's got a talon-like foliage. If you show the plant to somebody and say, what does this look like? They immediately go, oh, like an eagle claw, a talon. But this time of year, it really starts going to a super bright red fall color, and it holds it a long time. So when you walk by the greenhouses and you glance in, this one will stop you in your tracks, and it lasts for 6 to 8 weeks.
I love how on Bloody Talons, the fall color starts sort of malting into it. So it doesn't come all into it all at once. You'll have some green leaves with red starting to come into it. And like you said, it takes a long time to go into that fall color and stay into that fall color for one of the longer periods of times that I've seen in a Japanese maple. Now, Bloody Talons is a selection by Talon Buchholz. And so it's kind of funny because it's almost like a play on words with his name. Talon has introduced the Ghost series, Geisha Gone Wild, Japanese Princess. And this is a tree that he's been evaluating for over 20 years. We're looking right here at the original Bloody Talons here in this box. And it's a tight, dense, compact dwarf, but it's unique and different. It has a larger leaf, but a cup leaf, almost like a peve starfish. And so there's not much else like this selection, and there's not much that's so slow growing like Bloody Talons. To me, this is one of the coolest trees I think that have been introduced, but it's also one of the slowest growing ones.
It definitely is one of the slowest growing ones. For a nursery growing and production item, we kind of look at it and go, oh man, this thing's going to take forever to finish. And so it's not a huge money maker for, you know, popping out volume, but you know, people will, you know, they love this thing. So
it's one of the
I'm one of them.
Yeah, it's one of the latest introductions by Talon Buchholz. We released some of them through MrMaple last year, and people went crazy for it.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things, they sold out in seconds. We will be offering them again in the future, but they're slow growing, so it takes time to get these to a 1 gallon. And I'm telling you, this is an awesome tree. So what do you have next, Joel, on your best fall color maples?
Man, Ilima Sago is, now I probably didn't pronounce that right, but that's probably next on my list for, you know, just nonstop color.
Yeah, man, Ilima Sago, that's such an awesome tree. It's got that sort of brick red color, some like green in there as well, but that fall color, that's when that tree shines.
Yeah, you know, when it first leaves out, it's kind of almost, I wouldn't say a cherry red, but it's almost an orangey type, and it's got nice serration on the leaf edge. So it's, you know, it really captures you. So, and then as it hardens off as the season goes on, it really starts kicking in some fall color early and just keeps going.
Yeah, you really get some really nice shades of yellows to oranges in there in the fall. And it's hard to beat having that dynamic contrast of, you've got more of that red color and then you get some of those yellows to oranges, you sort of get the best of all the color spectrum when it comes to maples.
And I read on your website it's been around since the 1800s, which is, it's just hard to believe.
I mean, it's a classic Japanese maple. We just talked about Bloody Talons, which was a brand new introduction, and then you went to a classic with Ilima Sago. So you're covering the full spectrum there. There's, almost 200-300 years apart between the two different selections. What do you have next on your list?
The next one is Blackbeards Gold. So, that one is relatively new to me. I really didn't know much on it. This last year, I watched it from the time it leafed out, hardened off, and then it rolled into fall. And it had the whole year of interest. So it was a great plant. Leafed out, it was like a cherry red. And as the hot summer kicks in, that foliage turned like a deep purple. But yet it still had like green veins going throughout. And that was pretty spectacular. And then it hardened off to a kind of a greenish as it's starting to kick in some yellow fall color. So that was pretty amazing. That was a good one.
I like that one too. That's actually one that we introduced here at MrMaple.com. And it was a tree that my dad had planted out as a seedling in the 1980s. And he had rows of Japanese maples. And we would do tours of the nursery with so many, different groups. And they'd see that tree in the summer and they'd say, I like it. And they'd see that tree in the fall and it stood out because it was this yellow with hints of orange in it. And everybody was just like, I like that tree. All the rest of the trees went to red. And we started looking at it and we said, that tree it's pretty nice. And we started grafting it. And we put the names Blackbeards Gold because we're from North Carolina. And people always talk about finding Blackbeards Gold. It goes to that golden fall color. And so the name just sort of fit very well. But it's been a crowd favorite.
Has anyone found Blackbeards Gold yet?
You can find it at MrMaple.com.
Yeah, that's about the closest you'll get. So,
Joel, so what do you have next?
I have the Gossamer. So, Gossamer I like just because when it leaves out, you look at it and you're like, what is this thing? Is it a palmatum? Is it a japonicum? Is it both? Is it, it just has very interesting foliage, but it's a nice green. It's super compact, slow grower. And when it rolls to the fall color, it's spectacular. It's one of the longest going for fall color, but on the leaf, you'll have yellows and reds. And on the same plant, you'll have a purple and green, and it just keeps going. It's almost like a little firework show going on this little plant for fall.
Last fall, we actually shot a cultivar highlight here at the Buchholz farm. And if you watch it, you'll hear us say there's nothing more awesome. There's nothing awesomer than a Gossamer in fall color. And that's
so
because
true. Yeah.
It's spectacular. I mean, you get this multitude of colors. You get a lace leaf japonicum. The cool thing we've learned about many japonicum varieties is that they often go to fall color based on the length of the day rather than the coldness. And so you get a very consistent fall color out of many of the Acer japonicum selections. And that green color that Gossamer has in the spring and the summer, sometimes it can be like a silver sheen to it. And so to me, that's just such an amazing selection. It was found and introduced by Billy Schwartz. And he was walking around in Lima, Pennsylvania. Some people call it Lima, Pennsylvania, at the original red maple nurseries. And there was this big Acer japonicum that was labeled aconitafolium. And he found it as a seedling down there next to a lace leaf. And so he looked at it and he said, this looks like a lace leaf japonicum hybrid. Introduced that thing in the nursery trade, and it's been a crowd favorite ever since.
Well, I'm glad he did. I also thought it was named after Gossamer, the cartoon character.
We did the same thing.
And
in fact, I even asked Billy about it, and he said, no, it's named after Gossamer the cloth.
Okay.
But it looks like a little Gossamer there in fall color, too. You get that, sometimes that red color going into it.
That's a great name.
So, Joel, we've down to the last one you've got for your best fall colors. What do you have?
You know, I really enjoy the Starry Skies. So that one's very interesting. It's got great foliage color when it leaves out. Reminds me of that Christmas candy. It's that, that green and white striped one that you used to get back in the day. Just a lot of color. That hardens off as the summer goes on, and fall color is just spectacular. It's I mean, we had oranges, yellows, purples, all on one plant. It's just spectacular. And you know, with that variegation, I assumed, because I haven't seen Starry Skies before other than working at Buchholz, I was thinking it would look like a butterfly and just kind of have a just okay fall color, but that thing was that was spectacular.
So what kind of fall colors did you see on Starry Skies?
You know, it was on the same plant. You had yellows, oranges, you had purples, and in some cases, you know, it was all on the same leaf. It was spectacular.
You know, I saw Starry Skies in the spring, and my eyes just about bugged out when I saw it because of how electric. I mean, it's like Higashiyama on cloud 9, and you just want to start doing a jig just to enjoy the variegation on it. I mean, that's one of my favorite styles of Japanese maples. And it was so intense, you're like, this is next level. And you see why Talon, it's one of his last introductions. Joel, thanks for bringing in your expertise here from the Buchholz farm. Y'all, that was Joel's top 5 fall color Japanese maples. In the comment section below, let us know if you think he missed something. Let us know what you think about his top 5. Y'all, I think it's a pretty legit list. We got Bloody Talons on there. You got some new things on there. Then you got some of the classics like Ilima Sago. Such a great diversity in there. Y'all, thanks for joining today. Make sure you subscribe. Share this video with your gardening friends. Take care. God bless and have a great day.